All right, there we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, you sound like it's Monday today. Good afternoon, everyone. The weather's so nice, you should all have a smile on your face, and we're heading towards the weekend. Okay, good afternoon to everyone who's tuned into our live stream. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here, and I'm going to be spending about the next 45 minutes with you as we go through who DuePoint is and what this opportunity is all about. And then you are most welcome to come speak to me afterwards, ask me any questions that you might have. Jane's here too, so feel free to come have a chat. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, we're a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We've been around since 1952, so we've been very successful in the insurance space for nearly 7 decades. You might not know the name or the brand because Constantia have never dealt with consumers in the past. Constantia have always only dealt with other financial service providers, but for the first time through this division, DuePoint, are we now approaching the public directly. So you'll become a lot more familiar with that name. The financial services provider license number is that one over there. That's very important. You'll notice in our foyer above the water cooler, we've got all these certificates up on the wall. You are welcome to go take a look at those. Those are the rest of our financial services board licenses. Here at DuePoint, we take credibility very seriously. We want you to trust the business that we're going to be speaking about today. We want you to find us credible, because only if those two things happen can we take the next step forward in creating any partnership or collaboration. The managers and executives are these people up on screen. So the first 3 individuals are registered chartered accountants, starting with Mr. Benfield, who's got a lot of experience in financial services, because they've had so much success. When I say they're his family. So his father was actually the CEO of Clientele Life. He started Clientele Life. His father started the IFA. They also together as a Brendan and his brother Stuart and father started a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD. So you can see they've had a lot of success in the space. They've got a massive amount of experience. We're very lucky to have Brendan heading up the division. Tim and Stacey, they look after a lot of the auditing, accounting, the financial regulatory requirements in our business, all very important stuff. And then Jane and myself are the 2 non-accountants. Jane is very experienced in network marketing, referral, marketing, direct sales, that type of thing. She's been doing it for a very long time. She's from the UK, so she brings some wonderful experience to our team with regards to operating in that aspect of business. And then myself, I've been working in advertising, branding, and design for about 25 years. I also ran an agency for 15 years, fairly successfully, and we also did a lot of work in the financial space. So that's our senior team. We've got client service staff, we've got admin staff, but everybody's mandate as staff of DuePoint is to support you in your endeavor here at DuePoint. If you decide to collaborate with us today, know that you've got all the support in the world, because it's in our benefit that you are happy, profitable, and effective in this DuePoint business. Okay, very quickly, the debt slide. I won't spend too much time on it, but really what our business is about mitigating risk, right? So we're an insurance company. We know all about mitigating risk. And from a personal finance point of view, you're probably here at the same time. You're looking for something extra, right? You might be in crisis already where you're desperate for something extra, or maybe you're a little more forward thinking and you decide, when I get into crisis, perhaps one day, I want to make sure that it's not too much of an issue because I've already created a second stream of income for myself. So there is a lot of risk currently in our economy from an employment point of view. We've got a lot of unemployment. Retrenchments seem to be happening daily in businesses, and also because the economy, because of our inflation being so high, the cost of living is running away from our salaries, right? So you look at the statistics over the last 7-8 years, the cost of living has increased by 4.5% every year, but your salaries only increased by 2% on average every year. And so these are the risks that we're trying to mitigate in this business, and that is the opportunity, because 2.5 years ago, Constantia launched this business called DuePoint, so in February 2016. Exactly with that in mind. We wanted to help average South Africans mitigate that risk, and that is done through our DuePoint system. So our business is really about wealth creation here at DuePoint, which goes a step further than just saying our business is about income generation. right? There's a difference between income generation and wealth creation. When we speak about wealth creation, we talk about wealth through the ownership of assets. So when you look at somebody and you go, that person's wealthy, I would assume that you know that they don't have any debt and that they've got these assets that are creating annuity income for them. We want our wealth engineers, the people in our business, to be in the same position. You can be earning 200,000 Rand a month. But if you decide to take that income and go buy a Porsche that you have to finance every month, and you go buy a 10 million Rand house, your 200,000 Rand isn't making you rich. You've just indebted yourself to such a degree that you might look rich from the outside, but you're certainly not wealthy. And our business is about creating wealth. So it goes without saying that we need to start thinking differently about wealth creation, about income generation, and about leveraging money to that end, instead of just making extra money and spending more, right? And I'll illustrate it in a couple of points. So how does this business work? Basically, our guests here this afternoon, you've got the opportunity to join DuePoint. Once you join us, we refer to you as wealth engineers, and as wealth engineers, you have a single task, and that is to go out and build what we call a channel of distribution, right? This is an asset that you're going to be building here at DuePoint. I'll show you what one looks like. But basically, you build a channel of distribution by going out and connecting other people to this business. As simple as that. The same way you got told about this business and you're here watching a presentation, if you become wealth engineers and product owners, that is a channel being built, and that successful process returns all these wonderful benefits. So number one, yes, the primary benefit in this business is that you get to create an additional income stream. But the nature of the income stream is recurring, right? Some people refer to it as passive income. If you go speak to some fancy people, they'll talk about building annuity income. It is the ability to make money without your activity. So think about employment. You all got a boss, you get a salary at the end of a month. If you don't go to work in September, are you going to get paid at the end of September? You don't, right? That's active income. It requires your activity to generate income. When you build an asset, and the asset is paying out the income, it no longer requires your activity. So imagine owning two houses. One you live in, and the second house you decide to rent out. You don't have to be actively involved in the second property to generate income, right? And so that is the ability to make money while you're sleeping. It is a wonderful attribute to chase after. I ran an agency that didn't create recurring income or annuity income. I realized, and most people in small businesses are in that position, where you realize you have to work for the rest of your life to earn income. There's never a position where you get to where the asset is just paying you every month for the time you invested into it, right? In this business, we get to create annuity income. You get to harness the power of duplication. This is leverage. It's just your ability to go out and find other people to help you build your channel. And we reward you for that, right? If you can go find 10 people that put in the same amount of time that you're putting into building a channel, you've just multiplied your recurring income and your channel growth by 10 times. So go out and find good, strong people in your business. Our business is flexi time. So the technology that we have in place allows you to build your channel of distribution at any time of the day, anywhere in the country. Right? You're not constrained by location or time with regards to this business. There's no startup capital, so we've purposely designed this business to have a low barrier to entry. I don't want to be standing up here saying to you, please look at this proposition that I'm putting in front of you, but it requires a 50,000 Rand non-refundable deposit. Who would still watch the rest of the presentation if I said there was a 50,000 Rand required deposit? Everyone would walk out. I don't want you to be worried about risk involved in this business, because there is very little risk. That affords you the opportunity to try this business without worrying about losing your shirt, right? At the same time, we don't care about qualifications or experience. This business is accessible really to everybody. You get to build an asset that you have ownership over. This is very important. This goes back to my point about building assets. It's not an asset you're building for us. It's an asset that you're building for yourself. You have legal tender over this asset. And there are three things that come off of that point. The one is that you get paid every single month beyond retirement, right? In active income, your income ends at retirement. But if you own assets, those assets will keep paying you beyond retirement. It also means that it doesn't disappear when you die one day. How many of us are going to pass wealth onto our next generation, onto our children? When you die, your children get to receive wealth. Very few of us, right? If you've got a channel of distribution creating recurring income, you can pass that wealth on to the next generation, onto your spouse or onto your children. And that's why it's very important to know that the time that you're investing, building this channel of distribution, you have ownership over it. There's no selling involved at all. You are not required, actually our code of conduct says you may not promote or try sell or market our products. That is my job up on stage, right? The website's got lots of information on the products. YouTube's got a lot of information on the products. Your job is not to dispense information about our products. That's a great thing. Who loves to sell insurance products to their friends on the weekends? Nobody, right? You don't have to. You don't have to. What you need to do, though, is connect people to the business opportunity. It is a need that is required by almost every South African in our country. There is a requirement for income opportunity. And that's all you're going to be telling people. So I've got a great income opportunity. If you've got 15 minutes, I can show you what it looks like. That's all you're going to be doing. At the same time, the nature of our products being financial means we don't have stock and distribution issues. I was speaking to one of the wealth engineers last night. We had Tell All Tuesday last night where we invite wealth engineers up on stage. And she was saying she was involved in other businesses in the past. She says, Rob, if you opened my garage 10 years ago, you would have seen just boxes of product in my garage and the cars were outside. Right? In our business, we don't have any of those issues. No stock and distribution issues. We never run out of products. You never have to ever order stock. You don't have to bring a bucket to pick anything up. There's no expiry dates. The boxes don't start to smell funny when you forget about them for 3 months. Right? Convenience. We've tried to build this business around convenience for our wealth engineers. Your success, however, is very much dependent on your ability to build a channel of distribution. So I'm going to show you what one looks like. It starts with you, so you become a wealth engineer and a product owner. And now you are tasked with going out and connecting other people to DuePoint. In this example, you've connected 5 people, right? And those 5 people became wealth engineers and product owners. They also want to build a channel of distribution. And so they go out and connect other people to the business. And so you have this growth that starts to take place in your channel, whether you like it or not. You could even quit as a wealth engineer. Your channel will carry on growing. We've got thousands of examples that people have come into the business, started it, gave up for whatever reason, and their channels just carried on growing and carried on growing and carried on growing. We've got some wealth engineers that joined us 2 years ago. Their businesses are sitting at over 7,000 people in their channels. They're not even aware of it. They're out doing something else. They don't realize that they've left a diamond mine behind. Right? So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. You could potentially be earning income off of every single dot that you see on the screen every single month. My tip to you is that make sure you bring strong, resourceful people into your business. Don't be desperate and bring anyone that wants to join into your business. That is a mistake you're going to make. Because if you bring weak people into the business here, that behavior filters into the rest of your business, and this will collapse. You want to build a strong, sustainable business. Remember, the point of DuePoint is to build an asset that you don't have to nurse every month. Right? That might take a few years before you get to that point. But when you can step back and see your asset that's paying out recurring income, 50, 60, 70,000 Rand a month, and you don't have to do anything anymore, that is going to be a special month for you. Right? It starts with bringing in strong people at the beginning. So make sure you do that. All right, a quick warning. We are not a get-rich-quick scheme. I suspect some people might have thought that, right? There are a lot of schemes floating around South Africa. Just wink at me if you've been part of a scheme before. I got offered 1 or 2 when I was a youngster. I remember them. Real, pure pyramid schemes, right? Fortunately, I never got involved in any of them. We're not one of those businesses. We're an authentic entrepreneurial opportunity. You have the opportunity to join a business that has been working in the financial landscape of South Africa for nearly 70 years. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. We've got very reputable people working in this business. We would never extend an opportunity that would risk our reputation. Ever. This is a real financial opportunity. And at the same time, I got to tell you that if you think you're going to become wealthy and rich overnight in this business, it's not going to happen. It isn't. Right? been reading books about millennials. How many people were born in the 2000s and further? No one. Not one millennial in the audience, right? You think I'm going to shout at you. I'm not going to shout at you. But we just live in a world where we expect convenience, right? Everything's a drive-through. You can access information instantly on your smartphones. Unfortunately, to build any successful entrepreneurial opportunity, it takes time. It does take time. If you want to build sustainable wealth, it's going to take time and consistency. We're interested in endurance in people, work ethic, right? So those are my warnings to you. I'm going to go over our financial products quickly. So we've got 4 products. They all have financial benefit, right? So the products are actually designed also around wealth creation. They're not just these arbitrary products that we've designed. They're designed to either protect your wealth, increase your wealth, or lower your costs every month, right? So our first product is called Access Wealth. It is our investment product. It's going to cost you 324 Rand a month, 100 Rand of which gets invested into a tax-free investment fund. We also give you 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident death cover on this investment. So if you have this investment in place, you're killed in any form of accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever is in that investment. And you've got full access to the investment. There's no delay access period on this investment. So this is our investment product. The second product is insurance only. It's called Wealth Guard. It's personal accident cover only. It's going to cost you 249 Rand. It doesn't cover you in the event of death through illness or natural causes, but it does cover you in the event of any form of accident. So the beauty of this product is that you get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover for your 249, and that we're able to offer this product to anyone over the age of 18. So you can be 50 years old, diabetic, heart conditions, the premium stays the same. We don't discriminate from an age point of view or a health status point of view. So this product becomes accessible to almost everybody, right? So that's Wealth Guard. The third product is called Family Wealth. Family Wealth is our new funeral cover product. It starts at 299 Rand a month. You get 20,000 Rands worth of funeral cover. It covers up to 5 family members. You also get 10,000 Rands worth of debt protection. So that means if you owe anyone money, we'll pay out up to 10,000 Rand of that debt. And the beauty of this is it's accessible to everybody again. There are no excluded pre-existing conditions. And it covers not only the event of death, but illness and natural causes. So any death it covers, and we don't discriminate against age or health once again. And you can bump this product up to 30,000 Rand cover as well as up to 10 family members. So very flexible, very innovative product. I don't think there's a product like this on the market with regards to funeral cover. Then finally, we've got our Wealth Points program. So the Wealth Points program will cost you 299 Rand a month. And this product aims to lower your cost of living every month. So what we've done is we've gone to a number of companies and we've negotiated discounts with them that you get to enjoy as a Wealth Points member, right? We are trying to lower the money that you're spending every month on expenses. And so we try to cover that spectrum of expenses. So we've got data, right? Everyone buys data. There's a data partner, up to 67% off data with Always On. We've got ShopRite Checkers, biggest grocery chain in the country. We've got a number of other online retailers. We've got car manufacturers. The Entertainer provides almost half price at restaurants and hotels. And we're always adding to this product. So there's a new partner that we've been working on furiously to get that up and running, and that'll be announced in the next month or so. But this is a great product if you're looking for immediate benefit with regards to your finance. So those are the 4 products. As I said, there's more info online that you can find. Just very quickly, one of the biggest I don't want to say discriminating. The biggest differences between us and another financial service provider is our remuneration model to wealth engineers. So how do we pay wealth engineers every single month? Take them to Mauritius, buy them cars, all these things. It lies in the fact that we don't spend any money on marketing or advertising. So traditional companies spend a fortune, especially insurance companies. They spend a fortune on marketing and advertising, right? You go to the company down the road, your Prime Meridian Direct. You'll be shocked at how much money they spend on advertising daily. All that money goes to companies, media companies like DSTV, SABC, billboard companies, the newspapers, right? At DuePoint, because we don't do any marketing or advertising, we don't We don't have to spend money on trying to grow our business through those media channels. What we can do is we depend on you guys. So our wealth engineers, that's where we have our dependence on. That's where the collaboration, the partnership come together. And so we don't have to spend the billions that the insurance industry spends every year on marketing and advertising. We can take that budget and give it to our wealth engineers in two forms: returns program and the rewards program. So the returns program is that income that you generate at the end of every single month, and it works like this. We pay a base return fee of £27.50 for every product that you have in your channel. Remember the slide with all the dots on, right? Imagine getting paid for every single one of those dots, but it depends on where the product lies in relation to you. So the first 5 people that you introduced and anyone that you connect to the business will always fall on your first point, right? It's product that is 1 point away from you. Right? These are personal introductions that you made. And on your first point, we pay double the £27.50. And then when those people go out and connect other people into your channel, that product lies on your second point. And again, you get paid £55 for all the product on your second point. And remember, it's every month, right? Because it's recurring income. And then as your channel starts to grow out further and further and further away from you, that multiplier drops all the way to 4%. But we don't limit you at 0.8. So there's a little plus there next to the 0.8, because you can grow your channel well beyond 0.8. And you can earn well beyond 0.8. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get, and we don't limit you on how much money you can earn. You'll keep earning 4% from 0.8, in theory, into infinity with this business. Right? So this is the mechanics of the returns. Fairly straightforward. The next question often is, well, how much money do people make in this business? If I start investing time into this business, what can I expect out of it? So we built this projection over the next 5 years called the Path to Success. Very appropriate 5-year plan. And it is based on a growth model. The growth model says in your first month, connect 3 people, and every consecutive month thereafter, connect 2 people. So it's 3 in August, 2 in September, 2 in October, 2 in November, 2 in December. And you keep adding 2 people into perpetuity. If you can follow that growth model, after 6 months, you could be earning £2,500. Now I'm going to do a quick illustration, an example of how we think. Right? If today was your lucky lunch hour, and I put £2,500 under everyone's chair today, like Oprah. You know how Oprah does the giveaways, right? So just feel under your chair, see if you can feel an envelope. And if you took that £2,500 and you put it in your wallet or in your handbag, how long will it last? Today's Wednesday. Lunchtime. Someone's got a big lunch, a power lunch planned. Right? And that's exactly how consumers think. We are trained, right, to give money its spending value. It's spending value. Our economy can't survive if everyone just saves and invests, right? It requires consumerism, unfortunately. But consumerism is what gets us into a lot of trouble. I'm going to illustrate to you the difference between thinking like a consumer and someone who wants to leverage money to make more money, someone who's willing to save or invest or pay their debt off faster. Does everyone want to be a homeowner? Right? That's a general aspiration for most people. So here's someone that's found a nice little house. So Renee, who's a real estate agent, and we've got Paul, he's a real estate agent. You get someone to find a newly married couple perhaps, and they find a nice little apartment for R1 million. Right? They enter into a bond because you don't have R1 million cash, so you get financed by the bank, and the bank says to you, you pay us at prime plus 2, 11,500 Rand a month for 20 years. And that'll pay off your debt to the bank for that house that you've just bonded, right? Who would like to pay the house off in half the time? All of us, right? You can do that in 6 months, because if you get to 6 months and you're earning 2,500 Rand, instead of spending it on a big power lunch, you decide to do a very boring thing and put it into your bond as an additional payment. It'll mean that you don't take 20 years to pay that house off. You'll do it in 11 and a half years. And in the process, you will save yourself just under 900,000 Rand in interest that you would have paid to the bank. If you decide to bond over the 20 years, you're paying back for a 1 million Rand house, you're paying almost 2.5 million for that house. But if you put a little bit extra in, that bond drops dramatically. Right? We have to get ourselves on the right side of compound interest. Let compound interest work for you. Don't let the bank make money out of you all the time. It'll empower you towards creating wealth. At month 12, you're earning in excess of 100,000 Rand every year in annual recurring income. Another easy question. Who would like a 100,000 Rand check every Christmas? Imagine coming to pick that up, right? I can see you getting all emotional thinking, "Yo, that would be so nice. It would change your life," right? What does December suddenly look like? You keep going. At month 24, you're earning nearly 30,000 Rand a month. And this number will just get bigger. At month 36, you're close to 50,000 Rand a month. 70,000 Rand a month after 4 years, and then after 5 years, you should be close to 85,000, which translates to close to R1,000,000 in annual recurring income. Throw that 100,000 Rand check away, come pick a R1,000,000 Rand check up once a year. Plus your salary. Salary for the bills, the R1,000,000 Rand for the fun. Right? Don't quit your job yet. I know you want to tell your boss what you really think about him or her. But it makes for a better story when you tell people, "Come look at this business opportunity. It is paying me more than my full-time job." Imagine when you get to that point, right? Very exciting. So this could be your 5-year plan, but this is all academic. It's just theory, right? So it's a bunch of actuaries that put together this projection. But fortunately, like we did last night, we invite wealth engineers up onto stage to tell us about their journey here at DuePoint. And so this is one of the other real estate agents. So Renee was a very successful real estate agent. She got tired of having to work on Sundays, so she told her boss to take his job. And now she's very dedicated to DuePoint. They got involved 6 months ago. They're already at rank 2. The value of their channel is sitting at 1,600 Rand currently this month, but they are working at this business every day currently. So if you want to look at leverage, you can see that they've introduced 14 people onto their first point, right? But look how that's translated already. So they've only introduced 14, but their channel's already sitting on 33. So it's doubled just because of the 14 that they brought in. Last night we highlighted what we call the road to rank 9. It is the journey to 1,000 products in your channel. When you get to rank 9, you're going to be earning anywhere between 20 and 30,000 Rand a month, right? And so last night we invited some of our rank 9 wealth engineers to actually share that journey, how long it took, what it looked like. So you're very welcome to go to YouTube, go check out those testimonies. Renee and Henny are on their way to rank 9. Because at rank 9, what happens is we take you overseas every single year for the rest of your life. So that's all they're interested in. They want that week international conference desperately. That's their goal, right? It's very important to set goals for yourself so that you know what plan you have to put in place to get to the goal. So then our first wealth engineer that we had up last night was Donnie. So he's ranked 9. It took him 16 months to get to 1,200 products. He jumped from under 1,000 to over 1,200 products in a single month. So his channel grew by nearly 300 products in 1 month, in 30 days, right? That is the leverage that exists. In his first month in our business, he only put in 1 person, right? As his belief started to grow in the business. Because I think he was a bit skeptical at the beginning. There's Donnie sitting in the middle there. His average first point growth, so the amount of work he was doing personally, averaged at 5 new people that he brought into the business every single month, right? And that led him to getting 1,200 products in 16 months. Qualified first pointers, so the amount of people earning money on his first point were 13. That's the amount of people that started working. The people you bring in, they're not all going to work, unfortunately. That's not a problem. Your success is still based on the minority that work. The majority of people, it's that 80-20 rule. 20% of the people do all 80% of the work, right? It's no different in this business. Then we got Patrick and Pumi. Patrick and Pumi got to rank 9, so they got to 1,387 products in the space of 11 months. Look how many people they brought in their first month. 14 people they introduced in their first month. They averaged 8, and they also had 13 earners on their first point by the end of that period. And that's in 11 months. You guys need to decide what you want out of this business. For me, it is always about planning. Set the goal, decide what the strategy is to get there. We've got thousands of people that join this business every single month. Everybody is running a different race, Why is everyone different? Because the system is the same for everybody. Everyone is different because everyone's got different aspirations, they've got different motivations, they've got different belief systems, they've got different excuses that they use, right? It's an endless list. More importantly, no one dictates to you what you can have in this business. You get to decide what you want out of the business. It's as simple as that. And so for me, the decision is not what you want so much. That is your decision to make, what you want. But what I'm interested in is what are you willing to do to get there? And so I always ask the wealth engineers we bring onto stage, I say, what does your day look like? Tell everybody what it looks like to be a wealth engineer that gets to rank 9 in less than 2 years. And so you can go listen to their testimonies to understand what's waiting for you, because this business requires time sacrifice. Your quality time, you're going to be spending less time with your family, less time watching TV, less time going to sports, or whatever it looks like. You've got to take a chunk of your time and go, right, I'm going to dedicate that to DuePoint so that I can build an asset that starts paying me out recurring income, so I can be one of the few people in South Africa that retire financially independent and happy. That's the sacrifice that we need to decide on. Getting started is very straightforward. So to become a wealth engineer takes about 7 minutes. It's a very straightforward process. Jump onto our website, or you can use the mobile app that the person who brought you here has. But then start applying yourself to the business. Read the code of conduct. That's fairly important. Go watch the training that we've provided, the testimonies, lots of videos. Set goals for yourself, which I've spoken already about. Prepare a plan. What does the plan look like? The plan always comes back to how many people do you need to speak to a month? That's the number one, that's the only number you have to worry about in our business. Not whether how many people are going to say yes or no. Don't worry about that. You can't control that. Worry about how many people you've got to speak to for so many people to join. Right? So Patrick and Pumi, maybe they're speaking to 20 a month for 8 to join. You've got to figure out what that number is so that you can get to your goal by the deadline that you've given yourself. We've got merchandise. This is a picture of credibility. Imagine you came to the presentation and it was at some little residential house. I opened the garage and there were some boxes for everybody to sit down on. And I had one of those old mirror deck screens. And I showed you the presentation. I was dressed in my shorts, maybe some nice veldskoene, and I gave you the presentation. As opposed to what you see here now. Any transaction requires trust. And for there to be trust, there has to be credibility. The merchandise paints a picture of credibility for you. If you sit down at a meeting with someone at a table, and you've got a notebook perhaps, a pen, you've got a pin, and most importantly, you've got business cards, that person looks at you and goes, this person takes themselves and the business that they're proposing seriously. I can trust them more. If you don't do that, connecting is going to be a lot harder for you. Please consider getting business cards. You can go right now to the counter and order business cards for yourself. We'll get you 500 cards in the next couple of weeks. Please consider getting the business cards. Join our Facebook page. Plenty happening on there. YouTube, we've got 500 videos on YouTube. Everything's neatly categorized. There's a wealth of information there. Download the mobile app once you become a wealth engineer. It works on Android and Apple devices. We've got a big update coming out at the end of this week that we're going to be highlighting on Saturday. There we go. This is the dev seminar that we're doing on Saturday. How to hack success. So this is the next training seminar we're doing. I compared it last night to a mountain. Right? Think about your goal as a mountain. There are many routes up the mountain. This dev seminar will show you a faster route, an easier route up the mountain. You still got to get up. It's still going to be tough, but don't take the long way around. Find the shortest way, and that's what we're going to be discussing. What is the best way to ensure that success is achieved easily without too much frustration? So tune in Saturday morning, there you go, 25th of August, 9 a.m. We're starting that training. If you're not coming to head office, it is streamed live on YouTube, and the training will be available on YouTube afterwards, right, for everybody to watch. So make sure that you get involved in that. And then on to our rewards program. So the rewards program is the cherry on top here at DuePoint. Everyone gets excited about the rewards program, but it's not as important as the returns. The returns is that monthly income you make. This is just the cherry on top, right? So it works like this. When you become a wealth engineer, you will start earning something called the XP, or experience points. It is an indicator of how active you are as a wealth engineer. So just for coming today, you get XP. You log into your mobile app, you got more XP. Do home presentations, guests, there's just XP, XP, XP that you earn all the time. And as you start collecting more XP and your channel grows, you can rank up in our rewards program. So you will start out as rank 0 today, right? Because your channel is worth nothing, you've done nothing. When you start doing something and you earn 1,000 XP, which you can do in 20 seconds, you need 4 products in your qualified channel, and when you meet those 2 criteria, you become a rank 1 wealth engineer, and you earn an extra 55 Rand on top of your monthly return, right? And then as you start collecting more XP and your channel starts to grow, you start to rank up. There is a 20,000 Rand, a 50,000 Rand check waiting for you. We give tools to our wealth engineers to make them more effective at building their channels. Little devices with all our collateral on that plugs into anything. We get you very special business cards. They cost an absolute fortune to manufacture, rightly so, because when you sit down in a meeting and you put a 12,500 Rand business card on the table, people will look at you and go, this guy, this girl looks credible. Who has 12,500 Rand business cards, right? At rank 9, this is what Tell All Tuesday was all about. This is what our month is. We have 3.5 months left to our next rank 9 trip. What is rank 9? It's our international conference for our rank 9 wealth engineers and above that they get to enjoy every single year for the rest of their life. We take you, your spouse, even if you don't love them, they can still come with, and your 2 favorite children to our international conference every single year. It is business class flights there and back every time. It's a 5-star luxury resort for 7 days, all expenses paid trip. When I say all expenses paid trip, you can finish your mini bar every single day and they will restock it in the morning for you, right? It is all expenses paid trip. You don't bring your wallet with you. You bring your passport and your bikini, and that's it. Okay, so have a look at what rank 9 looked like last year. This is our footage. So this is our documentary of last year's trip.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sound where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
So how does that look? Right? This is everyone can aspire to, and it's waiting for everybody. We're running a campaign. You want to win an extra 2,000 Rand, get onto our Facebook page, go look at the campaign that we're running for Rank 9. You'll be able to see the resort that we're going to this year. It's a different one. At Rank 11, we spend $250,000 Rand on a brand new car for our wealth engineers. That's at Rank 11. You're just getting warmed up. And so what is the decision for the rest of this year? Are we going to make 2018 a year that doesn't look like the previous years? Or do we wait for circumstances to change? We're tired of waiting. I hope that everyone in this room is tired of waiting and they decided now's the time to take control over your income yourself. Don't have to worry about the economy, your boss, the company you work in, the industry you work in. You say, it doesn't matter. I'm doing something where I know where effort pays off, and I can give myself a raise every single month if I want to, except instead of the 2% annually that everyone else is getting. And that is my invitation to you today. Come join us at DuePoint. It is low risk so that you can try the business at least. But when you try it properly. Take the biggest swing you can. Go speak to someone every single day. Whether they say yes or no, don't worry about it. Just put yourself out there and go connect one person a day and see what happens. I guarantee you, you'll be wealthier next month than you were last month. So I hope you have a prosperous week ahead of you, even more prosperous 3 months, and that you get yourself onto this road to Rank 9. And it's just the beginning. Even by Rank 9, you're just getting started out. If you have any questions, come speak to me. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful rest of your days. Thank you.